Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. On today's show, we're answering your sex and relationship questions, including the best way to date in an open relationship, how much to share about your sexual history, what to do when your husband's porn preferences hit a little too close to home, also tips on how to tie your partner up and rock their world. Thanks for listening. You know how I'm always encouraging you to get a little more adventurous in the bedroom? Well, our friends at Sport Cheats, you know, the ones who pioneered easy-to-use bondage gear, have just released the perfect products for your next adventure, the all-new Midnight line. Midnight is a collection of sophisticated, playful, and adventurous accessories like lace cuffs, blindfolds, and one of our favorites, a lace collar and leash. Hey, Producer Madison, remember that time I led you around the trade show wearing one? How was that for you?
You know, surprisingly good. It's really comfy. I liked it more than I thought I would.
I know, right? Fun for everyone. Want to turn up the adventure dial a little more? No problem. Midnight has a whole selection of high-quality nipple clamps that not only feel amazing, but are really beautiful too. Hey, Producer Madison, remember that time? Just kidding. Okay, don't underestimate a little nipple play. Trust me. Each item in the Midnight collection is made from the highest quality materials. Everything is nicely weighted and feels amazing to use. These are really the perfect way to bring a little special twist to your sexy playtime. Sport Cheats has been keeping couples connected for more than 20 years, and the Midnight collection is their latest masterpiece. To check out this or any of the other fun Sport Cheat products, click the Sport Cheats banner on my website or visit sportcheats.com. That's SportSheets.com.
Into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com where you can find out all the information about the show, how to find us on social media and all that stuff. I just want to thank everybody for subscribing to the show. It really helps us out. You can subscribe on iTunes and all the other places where podcasts are not sold. It just helps us and helps us do a lot of great shows for you. So we appreciate it. And also, you can find me on social. It's at Sex with Emily across the board. Another thing I got to tell you about is it's October, okay? So we all know this month is about some freaky stuff, right? Halloween, all that. But the Sex with Emily team has decided to go in the other direction because we're taking the freak out of freaky sex. Why? Because so many people still feel shame, confusion, embarrassment about what they're into behind closed doors. And I don't want you guys to feel bad about what turns you on. You're always emailing me, is this normal? Is this okay? It's all fine. And I want you to fully embrace it, especially this month. Well, I mean, always, but we're going to start this month. So we're looking at ways that you can explore your sexuality, your fetishes, your fantasies. I mean, whatever turns you on. It's all good. So check out the site for blogs and social media all this month about all things kinky. And we want to hear from you about your stories. And if we do hear from you, you might just win a sexy prize because we're doing a month-long giveaway. This is what you got to do. Just this. What's your hottest fantasy? You know, the one that always gets you turned on, like that fantasy, that go-to. And if you email it to me at feedback@sexwithemily.com, you can win one of the 3 sexy prizes. And one, of course, is a magic wand, original, because I know you want one. And you can change your name. It's cool. We won't, exploit it and send it to your mom and stuff. We're fine with that because we know she might still have some shame around that or embarrassment. But we want you to feel good about it. So, again, learn more about it at sexwithemily.com. And I've got one more thing to say. Before I get into Anderson, he's sitting here. I'm very excited to see him. Okay. You know how much I love lube. In fact, I'm sort of obsessed with lube. And I'm totally okay with it. But Joe, they asked me, they said, Emily, what's your favorite lube? Do you like lube? What's the deal? We want to help you make your dream lube. And I've been talking about this for a few weeks now. And if you go to sexwithemily.com/dreamlube, you take a very short survey. You're going to help me create with Joe a dream lube, a brand new lube we designed together, and 10 lucky participants who take the survey will win a Joe prize package worth $100, which they have really cool stuff at Joe. It's not just lube. They send you just like, they have like lotions and potions, and it all smells really good, and it's fun and it's slippery and nice. So go to sexwithemily.com/dreamlube or click on the Dream Lube banner. And also, we've already been getting so many overwhelmingly amazing responses. I read them all, believe it or not. I did read. I was on an airplane and I read it all. And it was just great to hear your feedback about the show, because we have a few questions in there about that. But it's really quick. And thank you, everybody. I love hearing from you. Whew. Anderson, what up?
That was a mouthful.
Dude, I know. I tried to make it quick because people were like,
I like the taking the freak out of things, though.
Right?
I was afraid you're going to say, like, only missionary from now on. But no, what you're talking about is you're going to make people feel like not freaky.
Yes.
For their
You're fine.
freakdom.
You're
Like
fine.
sucking on toes might be a thing.
I'm cool with that.
You're cool with that.
Yeah.
Like singing the national anthem might be like the only way a person can climax, and you're okay with that.
Dude, it's all fine.
You will de-shame them.
Exactly.
I love it.
I love it too, because
Love it.
everyone was like, am I normal? Is this fine? It's all fine. And this month I want you to all just be fine with
What
who you are.
up, Em? Have you?
Oh my God.
Have you had any relationships and broken up? Have you had any children? How many birthdays have you had? It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Oh my God. It feels like it's been forever. No breakups.
You look younger.
I do?
You look younger.
I feel younger.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
look good.
That's so
You look
weird
good.
because I'm jet lagged right
Do you
now.
think it's because you're sucking on the wet head stuff all the time? It's like got vitamins in it.
I love my wet head. This is my okay. Everyone asked me what this is. So
It
I
makes
gotta
it makes you a little uncomfortable if you're sitting across from Emily and she's constantly squirting this stuff onto her.
It would only be weird if I got on my knees and was about to give you a blowjob.
That's what it's for, though. It's for blowing people, and she's constantly like prepping.
It's okay. So it's by Doc Johnson.
I wasn't
It's called
asking for
Good
another
Head-
plug here. I'm just saying.
No, because people always want to know what I'm spraying in my mouth. The point is,
that is the question on the streets. I hear people talking. I was waiting for the
I
red
don't
lights
feel
turn
weird
green
about it.
on the
I
corner.
feel fine about
What is
it.
it that Emily's always squirting in her mouth? A guy said.
dude, I wish it was more interesting. But no, this is okay. So a lot of people, when they're, one of the number one tips for
Dry
giving
mouth.
great
The
blow,
stoners. Yeah.
yeah, stoners or
get
anybody.
bad head. Yeah.
No,
Cotton mouth. I
Okay,
get it.
right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for answering the question with the question that I didn't even answer. So the
Don't you think it's developed for stoners though? Because they
No.
love to
Do you know
get
how-
high and sit around and bang.
it's really hard to sometimes produce enough saliva
Mm-hmm.
to make a blowjob wet enough. It just is. You can't keep like there's certain things you can do.
I wouldn't know.
So this good. I mean, not good.
I've been to
If
jail
you're
3
into-
times,
If
but-
you're into giving blowjobs, it's not freaky. I'm totally fine with that.
Right.
So the thing is, it makes your mouth less dry when you're on the radio or when you're on podcast or talking. You can do that and that would be annoying. And so now,
I just had a flashback. It was a terrible flashback.
oh no, of what?
All right, I don't want to get into
A
too
dry
many
blowjob?
sordid details,
Tell
but I
me.
remember I was with a couple girls. I was like dating 2 girls at once for a minute, and it was pretty sweet. It was back in the 90s when I was like a totally
Freewheeling.
different person.
Right.
And
Asshole
I was,
Anderson.
Yeah, and there was these 2 girls that were kind of like they were together, and then I was kind of like their third wheel for a minute, for probably about 2-3 weeks. It was a lot of fun. But I
What do you
remember
mean they were together? Like as
they were like a couple.
Okay.
And then I was like their toy for a minute, and it was fun. But I remember I shut the room down and I turned both of them off when they had like introduced a toy, and they were showing like how they blow the toy, and we weren't even having sex or anything.
Right.
And then I gave it a whirl. I put it in my mouth, and they were both like, I
gave
didn't
him
need
a
to see.
what?
I put this sex
Dildo.
toy dildo thing in my mouth. Like I was like
right.
showing how
And
I would.
They're like, we never need to see that again.
Yeah, we don't need to see that, Anderson. Like, just shut everything down. It was terrible.
Oh, man.
I forgot about
yeah,
that. until
lesbians
just
probably
now.
don't think it's hot if you're sucking on a.
But there are a lot of ladies out there that like gay porn.
Totally, but right, absolutely. Maybe,
But
yeah.
not me.
Not this group of lesbians.
These
Not
2
you.
did not like it.
Right.
I think actually they ended up hooking up later that night without me.
Dude,
Nothing worse
was
than sitting in the living room.
Was that the blowjob buzzkill?
It was kind of it killed it.
The phallic kill. That
So if you
happens
find
sometimes.
yourself in that position, guys, don't do what I did.
Don't stick it in your mouth unless you're into that kind of thing, and it's totally fine. See, we're all about acceptance this month.
D-freak.
So there's a few things. Yeah, I haven't seen you in like a month. I know we have
been
so
a while.
much to catch up
Right.
on, and we've got a really action-packed show today.
A lot.
But I wanted to give a shout out and tell you what happened. So I went to She in
Right.
New York.
Uh-huh.
Where's your? Yeah, thank you. The Sexual Health Expo, and which was amazing. I've talked about it already, but it was. I've never in my life met as many listeners in 2 days. In 11 years
big
of
city.
doing the show, I probably a couple hundred people came, and
New
it
York's
was
large
amazing,
city.
and they want to know where you were and all this stuff. But
Oh, they want to know where I was.
Yeah,
I was in L.A.
I know. You
Yeah.
could have come with me, but you're busy, like making movies, making babies. It's
Yeah.
okay. But you know who came? So it was a lot of listeners. They're like,
Right.
"Thank you," and it was just. And for me, you know, I don't meet. We're in LA.
No.
I'm in the car. Like
Yeah.
I don't meet listeners that often. And do you know who came? Is do you remember the email from John? He was the gentleman who lost his wife.
Yes, and I was researching porn at that moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you were distracted, but then you helped him, and then we apologized and
Yes,
thanked him.
and
And
he's such a sweet guy.
And he came,
Oh, he did.
and he was so lovely,
Okay.
and he just said,
Not
"Thank
like
you."
at the show. He
No.
went to the show.
I don't know what happened after he
Okay.
left, but when he was there, he showed up at the show.
Yes.
Not everything.
He arrived.
Sex, Anderson. He
Right.
arrived, and he was so sweet and so thankful, and I was just my heart, like I had tears in my eyes, and I was just so grateful. So
He's doing good. He's dating somebody
yeah,
now.
he said
Good.
our advice was really helpful. If he lost his wife,
Right.
and he was kind of feeling like pressured into dating. We gave him advice just to
Yes.
kind of like take it easy and take care of yourself and build a group of community.
Most
of friends.
memorable email for me. I remember that one very, very well.
Right. So
and
anyway,
the
I met him in
subsequent
person.
emails that came
so,
after
So John, thank you, and thank you to all the listeners for coming because it was.
for
It
arriving.
was, what?
For arriving. Yeah.
Well, we had a climax fest after.
Did you?
That was fun.
Emily 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I didn't tell you about that. Okay, but tell me about like
All right.
everything.
Yeah, let me do a couple quick plugs here,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we can move on with the program. As many of you probably already know, I am on a quest to make my first feature film. For the last 20 years of my life, this is no lie. Every single morning when I first wake up, my first thought is, "You're a loser, Anderson. You have not made a movie." Well, looks like it's finally happening. Raising funds to make my first feature film, and it's a really fun feature film, and it's a really cheap feature film. I can make it for not a lot of money. So at groupersthemovie.com is where you can go to help support. Giving us a follow is a huge, huge thing. And if I get 1,000 followers of the project at groupersthemovie.com, we unlock a gift box for filmmakers. So we're up to like almost 600 follows, I think, right now, and it's an $8,000 gift box that gets unlocked if we get 1,000. It takes about 30 seconds. They just need your name and your email, and I don't spam you. You might get one update a week during the campaign.
And it's really great to check out your
and my pitch videos
It's
there.
actually, really, that's a piece of art.
And it's a crazy movie that I have written that I've dreamed up. You know, it comes from working on Loveline for all those years and working with Emily and working in this world. And it involves two homophobes who get strung up together and are forced to choose to be gay for each other because that's what they've been spouting off and they've been, gay bashing and saying homosexuality is nothing but a choice. So this woman captures them and says, hey, you can prove your little theory now. Be gay for each other if it's just a choice. And that's the jumping off point. There's a whole lot
Oh my God, I
involved
know.
in this movie.
I
Can't wait to make it.
I'm so proud of you, Anderson.
And we also have a perk that involves you, Em, and
Yeah,
your team.
I know. This is exciting.
It's called Brunch with Emily, and it's on there. You can see it. It's a little pricey, but there's a very few of them, and it's going to be a very memorable, fun day if you choose this perk. It's $500, and brunch with Emily
Yep.
and her team. I will be there, and we're going to drink mimosas, and we're going to be.
mimosas. We're gonna have a little gift package helping everyone, and
Yeah, you're going to bring sex toys and stuff to
Yep.
give away, and
only if you're into that sort of thing.
it's going to be like at a chic little Hollywood restaurant out
Right.
here. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun little mid-afternoon, mid-morning party.
Right.
Right?
We're gonna have a party, and I can answer your sex questions, and we're just gonna hang out. We are a good time.
It's going to be a great time.
And
So-
support Anderson because I just got to say that I'm not. A lot of those like Anderson, you're a loser conversations. Not only do they happen in the morning,
Yeah.
but sometimes they happened in the parking lot at Loveline.
Yeah,
before the show.
I get down on myself. I really do, and
Yeah.
I've directed 10 shorts now. I'm ready to make a feature, and this one is going to make some noise. So be a part of it.
And
Get
I'm proud
involved.
of you. And all the short films you've done have won awards. And
Yeah,
you're
they've been
just
all over
a
the place.
Talented filmmaker and a
Thank you
good
very much.
friend. And
I wish I
check
was.
it out.
I wish I was into writing a novel. I could just do it on my own, and I wouldn't have to bother anybody. But making a movie it takes a small village. So
Does.
please
and
help
support and buy our
thank you.
package because we want to have brunch with you and hang
It'll be
out.
so much fun, and you'll walk with a bunch of toys and sex toys, and a morning that you will never
And
forget.
I'll answer your questions.
Probably a
if you
bit of
have
a
any.
buzz, and Emily's really, really fun to hang out with.
I'm fun when I'm drunk.
As is her team. So,
Right. Aren't I fun drunk?
oh, you are
Except
fun
for when I
drunk.
talked during my.
Well, we're not going to be at a comedy show, so you won't be able to heckle.
That was fun. Okay, so
Thank you
good,
for that.
Anderson.
Thanks. I'm bad at plugging.
No, that was good. You actually, that was really succinct.
It's weird plugging my own stuff. It
I know,
feels
it's
weird,
really
but
hard.
it's so important to
That was
me.
great.
It really is. And also, this is the last
Another
time you're
one?
going to
Jesus,
see me
I know,
before I'm a
dude.
dad. My wife's due date is yesterday.
I can't even believe it, Anderson.
Her 2 days yesterday, and I'm
Like, you're
sitting
gonna
there.
like have a baby in
Yeah.
your arms next time I see
I
you.
know. I think Stanley, my dog, was really good practice. But everything's about to change. Everything's about to change.
He's still gonna get love, though. Honey. I'm really excited for you.
Thank
It's a
you.
big time. So wow, yeah, dadhood. We're gonna support your ass.
But I'm so glad
Preach.
that she kept the baby in her belly so that I could be here because it's been
That
too
was
long.
nice. It was like
Yeah.
touch and go if you were going to be here. And I tell her I appreciate that too.
Okay, I will.
Although I'm sure she wants to get that.
I've had her clenching.
out.
I've had her do. She's been doing. She doesn't know why, but I've been having her do Kegel exercises just to keep the baby in, so I could do the show today.
That's you know what.
That was the main
That's
reason.
really
Yeah.
sweet. I appreciate it. Oh, Anderson.
Kegel
It's a
camp.
big day. Kegel camp. Oh yeah, do your Kegels. Okay. Wow. That
You got
was
any
a lot.
sex in the news for me?
I do.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. Okay. Getting busy in cars is still a beloved American pastime. Lest you think it went out in the 70s because it did. Actually, it did go out in the 70s.
It did
but
because
came
you
back.
bucket seats.
Exactly. No, the decline in the 70s because of rising gas prices, the shrinking size of cars, the closing of the drive-in theaters.
Sex in a Yugo is no fun.
I've had sex in basically a Yugo. I'll get to that in a minute. An increase in anti-parking, not a Yugo, but a Geoprism. An increase in anti-parking regulations and advancing urban sprawl. All that stuff. People are like, you know what? F this sex in the cars. Well, now there's new research because people are, really researching important things right now in the world.
Yes.
And they found out that 61% of
Hair
men,
loss and boners, man.
58% of women report engaging in some kind of sexual behavior when in a vehicle.
Uh-huh.
So it found the most common time participants had sex in their cars was during their junior and senior years of high school.
Makes sense.
More than half reported parking out in the country to get down and dirty in the backseat of a standard car and not necessarily a pickup truck or an SUV. Sessions, see, this part hasn't changed in the 70s probably, or the 80s or the 90s. Sessions were brief, less than 15 minutes, but 6% said they went for more than an hour.
Wow.
And here's the part that's like, duh.
Road trip.
More men than women, 86% versus 48% reported having an orgasm.
Wait, 86% of dudes?
Yeah, 48% did not. Sounds like regular
Yeah.
intercourse. But the truth is, when you're in the car, it's always like there's things going up inside you, and it's like it's never
Well, that's
and
sex,
it's stressful.
Emily.
No, but it's like things you don't want.
Speaking of
inside
things
you.
inside you in cars, I saw a video once of a woman banging her stick shift. Yeah, it was interesting.
Really,
She
like
was actually
in porn?
shifting it and stuff. Yeah. I don't know how
Really?
she reached the clutch though. That was probably tough for her. But she was
Do you
actually
think there was
on
like
top.
a stunt there down there? Someone's working the clutch.
Car wasn't in motion, but she was riding that stick shift, and I'd never seen anything like it.
God, that's a great visual.
Probably Google it,
Thanks for
find it,
sharing. Yeah,
yeah.
like Google that stuff right now. People not do it after the show. Also, we wrote a blog about this to make it more orgasmic for both parties. It's called Backseat Windows Up: Your Guide to Seriously Hot Car Sex, and people really love this blog because
I
I'm
bet.
thinking like, don't you already know how to car sex? But no, we loved it. It's a really fun one, and people
Tinted
did well.
windows are kind of a must.
I got tinted windows now. So here's I started doing a little perusing through my memory of my car sex.
You ever get caught?
I did.
Yeah, so did I.
So you did.
I think most people get caught if you do it enough in the car, you'll get caught.
Well, I just got it. Well, the weird thing is, the one time I got caught was randomly after high school. I had a boyfriend visiting. I was living in San Francisco, and my boyfriend was from San Francisco. He
good.
came home to visit my family over Thanksgiving, and I
Right.
must have been like 25. What was I like? 25. I graduated.
But you get that whole feeling like you're in high
I was
school
like, come
again.
see my high
Yeah.
school. So I was like, come to my high school.
Right.
And we went to the parking lot, and then we like by the bleachers, and we started like fooling around in the car. And
probably
the
felt like a
cops
high
came
school
up.
senior
Yes,
again, right?
but the cops came up, and
Yeah.
I got busted when I was like 25 for
And
having
how'd
sex
they
in high
approach
school.
it? Did they
knocked
pull
on the
him away
window.
first?
No, they weren't mean about it, but they're like, hello, what's going on down
My
here?
cops are great because they pulled her away first. They pulled her out of the car and
Pulled
they
her
made
out?
sure that she was
Not
consenting.
being- right.
Yeah,
Oh, that's sweet.
that was the first thing they did, which
And
I
they-
appreciated. It
yeah.
was nice.
And
Yeah.
they threw you both in jail.
No, they just told us to leave.
Same. That happened to me. But then I realized I started doing all this, through my memory bank, that when I moved to San Francisco after college, I drove out in a Geoprism. Do you know what a Geoprism is?
They're small, right?
Really small.
Yeah.
And they're not great cars.
No.
But I was
Sorry to any listeners
if
who
you
are
haven't, they don't
driving a
even
Geo.
make them anymore.
I'm
because
sure yours is fine.
the reason why I got a Geoprism is because I had
Cool name.
no. It's because I had to buy. Okay, where I grew up.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like where you grew up.
You
need
grew
a
up in
car.
Michigan.
Like you're 16.
Yeah.
I
I grew up in
buses.
LA. You have to have a car.
Right. Well, same with LA.
Yes.
There's no buses. There's nothing. You can't.
There's
So
buses.
I worked all
Right.
through high school, and I could pay for half. My parents paid for the other half.
Oh,
But
that's
going
nice.
from Michigan, you have to
matching.
get an American car.
Right.
People hate you if you don't.
Uh-huh.
And it's the right thing to do in Michigan, or it was at the time.
Right.
But I wanted a foreign car. The point is, it
Oh,
was
no.
it was a Honda, and it was like a GM or something like that. I don't remember now. So the point is, little
Geo
car.
was like a hybrid car?
Hybrid car.
A hybrid
And
country
my
car. I
friend,
didn't know
when I
that.
moved, so I had that car for 7 years. Like I moved out to California. It was red. It was not a cute car. You could look it up. But the point is, I had sex in that car. So I went out to Boston one summer and at camp, and I went to a summer camp and I had sex in it a lot. And
Right.
And I never got caught, but it was a very little tiny space.
All very American things. So did you ever get shamed for driving this non-American car on the road by your...
No, it was half American. And once I moved
People do that?
to San Francisco, no one cares. But in Michigan, you really like people
Right.
throw stuff at you.
Do they really?
Yeah, I mean, because it's like,
Yeah.
Motor City.
Right. Not anymore.
Not anymore. But then at the time, I don't know. Still, no. I'm
It's coming
telling you,
back.
my mom's still her client. Like she still has an American car. She has like a Lincoln. Like you have to like a nice one, but
Right.
still, you got to like do it. So yeah. And then I was at Burning Man, and I had stayed in my boyfriend's car, which was not an SUV, and had a lot of sex in the car. So that's my story. But the other story I want to tell you.
Burning Man.
I'm sorry.
You got balls. You do have balls for going to that thing.
I did. I went like 10 years ago before it was like a thing, and now there's like cell phones there. I'm like, it's dead. But so here's a funny thing. So I was in Germany.
Yes.
I was at Aerofame, which is the largest
Excuse me,
sex. It's called Aerofame.
Aerofame?
Yeah.
Like an arrow that flies through
E-R-O.
the air.
Eero.
Okay.
Fame.
Eero.
Aerofame.
All right.
Doesn't matter. But it's you know, I always go to these sex industry
Yes.
conferences in
Yes.
America, the States. There's many of them, 10 of
Right.
them a year. But there's one. So everybody comes from all over.
All of
and
Europe.
it's all of Europe comes.
Western
but
Europe.
it's all the industry people. So I went with WeVibe. You know, they make like the top couples
Vibrators,
toy.
yes.
They make amazing toys. Like they've been around for like, I think 10 years. I remember they were like the first vibrator I ever talked about on the show.
I've been hearing you talk about WeVibe since I've known you.
Since you know me. So, and they actually have a new toy, but this isn't the point. The point is I was with them, and they, at the same time we were in Germany, they launched their Shaggin wagon.
Shaggin wagon.
And their Shaggin wagon, I
Mercedes?
It's no, it looks like old like 70s like VW bus, but it's not a VW bus, and it shakes. They have it set up so like when it's going down the street, it shakes, and you can get in the back seat of it, and there's going to be people like a host, and I can I'm going to be doing this.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
begging them, and then people are going to get in the car. I'm going to drive it, and I'm going to ask them about their sex life
And they're gonna
and record it.
record the whole
And
thing,
I
video.
literally screamed when they showed it to me because they did not know that when I started sex with Emily,
Yes.
one of my fantasies
Was Shaggin wagon.
was to it wasn't no Shaggin wagon is like next level better
Right.
idea. I just wanted to get a van
Right.
and drive across America and have people get in and tell me about their sex life.
Right.
And so now I want to do the Shaggin wagon, but I don't want to drive cross country anymore because I'm super busy now.
Yes.
I just want to drive through LA, and then it just shakes and people get in and they
So it's shaking when you're like
I'll show
idling
you a picture of it.
at a red light.
Yeah. It just shakes like people are,
So it makes it
rumbling.
look like people are banging.
People are banging
That
the
is going to
Shaggin
be an
wagon.
attention getter. And
Right?
now are they going to ship that thing over here on a ferry, or do
I
they
want
got
them
one
to,
here?
but they want unless they're going to get it over here somehow.
Why don't you throw a couple mics in there and you can do the show from
Everything.
wherever you are?
I'm going to move into it. I'm going to do the podcast. I'm going to do video.
Let me ask you. This
They
reminds
couldn't
me
believe
of-
how excited, and they're like, "When can I get it to LA?" Go.
You are a sex expert, right?
Yes.
And you were of the era when you could go into sleazy motels, and some of them had little coin-operated machines that shook the bed. Remember that?
I kind of
I've only seen it in movies. I've never seen it in real life. And what in the world is that? Where's the benefit?
It's kind of like
Because
a vibrator.
The Shaggin wagon reminded me of this because it's
Right.
shaking and
I've
moving.
never seen one of those in person. I think that's
I've
like
never
my
seen
parents.
one. Is it only a movie
I think
thing?
it's like a Vegas thing.
I've never seen one.
And
I
it
kind of
only-
want to see one now.
You could probably find one like
be
in
like
Vegas,
banging during an
Reno.
earthquake.
I don't know. It's like water beds. What happened to those?
Oh, they're the worst.
I lost my virginity on a water bed.
Banging on a waterbed is such a...
Who has?
it's
who's-
very difficult.
very difficult.
I grew up in the 80s, so I had to
I grew up in the
contest with that a
80s.
couple times, yes.
The waterbed in the.
I want
anyway,
to
this
see
is
you in the
fascinating.
Shaggin wagon for sure.
I know.
We need to make
it's
this
the
happen.
WeVibe. You can check it out. I don't know. I'll put a picture of it. We'll tweet it.
I thought they
Something.
were actually going to sell it like to consumers when you first
No.
said Shaggin wagon. I'm
No,
like,
but it's like a thing, and I like literally freaked out, and they thought they were just like, "Oh, by the way," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love
it's
you
the
guys."
equivalent to like Wiener Schnitzel. They have the Wiener car that drives across the country.
Right?
big
Maybe
hot
the
dog
Wiener
car.
Schnitzel should meet up with the Shaggin wagon.
Oh, what if it
and
rear-ended
they could
it?
make little babies or
Car
something.
porn. If it rear-ended
It's
it,
car porn.
yes.
Oh my god, this is getting better by the moment. Would you do a show with me in the Shaggin wagon?
I would love to be in the Shaggin wagon. Absolutely.
That is
Yes.
epic. Okay. I love that. Okay. Thank you. We're going to get into some emails
Let's do
from
it.
the people.
Yes.
But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors and thank you everyone for supporting them and helping to keep this show free so we can do epic shows for you.
This week, Sex with Emily comes to you thanks to the Shaggin Wagon.
No, they didn't even. I asked her. I said, "Can I?" I texted her from WeVibe. I'm like, "Steph, can I talk about it?" Like, I didn't know if it was the.
Right.
Like, they might not even come up, but I hope that
better.
maybe my listeners.
Yes.
Will,
Bombard them.
We'll tell them that I want it. Okay, everyone. If there's something I have more than toys, it's cosmetics, and I don't even use half of them. My makeup counter looks like. Well, you can probably guess because if you like cosmetics, yours probably looks similar. And just when things seem totally out of control, the folks at Kopari asked me to try their line of multitasking beauty products. So Kopari's products are made from 100% organic coconut oil. And unless you've been living under a rock or something, coconut oil is huge these days. Kopari's products are free of sulfates, silicones, GMOs, and parabens, none of which you want in your skin. And I've been using Kopari's balm, their scrub, their body glow for a while now, and I love them. But my favorite is their Kopari's organic coconut melt. It is so delicious. I took one cosmetic to Europe, just one, and that was the coconut melt because it works for everything. Okay, it's great on your skin, no matter what you use it for. So on the plane, when my skin was all dry, you could use it all over your body. Use it as a bath oil, shaving oil, massage oil. Not just for your skin, it's great for your hair. I have a hair mask that I put on. It has vitamin E, proteins to keep your hair long and strong and shiny, and it smells so great. Oh, it's good for flyaways. Smells amazing. And then the first time I used it, I walked into my office and everyone was like, "Wow, what smells so good?" And it was me. And they've never said I smell good. I mean, they don't say I smell bad, but they never said I smell good. Thanks to Kopari, my skin looks amazing, my hair, everything. And my counter's all cleaned up. So Sex with Emily listeners can save 20% on Kopari products. Just go to koparibeauty.com/Emily. That's KOPARI beauty.com/Emily today. Thanks. Okay, everyone. I love hearing from you. And now there's a few different ways you can get your questions answered on my show. Check this. Go to sexwithemily.com, click on the Ask Emily tab, and fill out the submission form. So easy. On the submission form, you can select that you would be interested in calling in and having your question answered live on the podcast. Also, you can leave me a voicemail, 818-ASK-SWE1 or 818-275-7931. And there's a couple ground rules on this. Keep your message to about a minute. Don't include your last name or the names of anyone you're talking about. And do, as always, tell us your age and where you're calling from, where you live. That's really helpful. So, again, all this info is on the website under the Ask Emily tab. Can't wait to hear from you. Okay, you ready, Anderson?
I am so ready.
Okay, so this
Emails.
is actually, this was a great email because I'm just going to read it. You'll see. Hi, Emily and company. I hate when people tell you it's great and they'll be like, that wasn't great. Mm-hmm. Apologies in advance for the hella long email. And I had to edit it a little. This is Dormant Virgin from your September 6th, 2016
I
episode.
remember this email.
I know, on Sex Obsession. I just want to update you on my sexual journey since then. Long story short, I did it. Long story long, after I heard what you and Anderson had to say, I followed most of your advice. However, the next time I was with her for my bang check, what was bang check again?
Rain check, but for bang.
Rain check. It was a rain check for bang check. My ED kicked in again. Not wanting this problem to continue any longer, I consulted a doctor and he prescribed Viagra. We tried again for the third time with the pills, and I was able to stay hard but couldn't come since I couldn't shut my damn brain off. It wasn't until the fourth time with her that I was able to clear my head and just focus on myself and her. Not to mention smoking a little weed prior helped.
Yeah.
Things started getting hot and heavy until all of a sudden being lost in the moment. I was able to climax with a woman for the first time. The satisfaction I received could not be rivaled by any other moment I've experienced. So I may have cheated with the dick pills and the weed, but your advice to focus on myself.
I've never heard dick pills. That is great.
But your advice to focus on myself and her, in addition to your Kegel Camp app and a little of the Joe Salted Caramel Lube, big fan of this product, helped me to overcome my anxiety and, in my eyes, to finally becoming a man. Now, to help level up my sex life, I'm looking into taking some classes at the Somatic Institute, where I take my classes in San Francisco. I'm only on the other side of the bay. I also took her, my lady friend, on kink.com's headquarters tour since she's been introducing me to some kinky stuff I never thought I'd be into, candle play, and biting, to name a few. Anyway, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, Dr. Morse. I couldn't have done it without you and your team constantly putting hard work into a show that people like me care about. Sincerely, DV, age 31, Bay Area. P.S. Shout out to Eddie and Chimmy, who I missed from my first post. Am I forgetting anyone? because remember he like thanked Stanley and like men's his dog and you. Yes. I love this. First of all, I don't typically read. Like, people don't actually send us a lot of. Maybe they do a lot of follow-up emails about what happens. I love this. I don't often get like all the how it helped.
How the details, yeah.
So thank you.
And,
We
the
appreciate
follow-up.
that. Like, where are they now? He's, at kinkkick.com headquarters, shooting loads. And
I remember. Emily.
Well,
I remember that
I
email
never
really
say
well.
that.
Like he had a hookup and he couldn't work, and she said maybe next time. And we had a bunch of advice about like trying to practice and imagining her and using a condom. I remember all that. So
Yeah,
I
good
wish
memory,
that he
because
said which parts he followed and which he didn't.
No,
he said
he did.
almost all.
he said that he got into his body and he focused on himself. And I think it sounds like he did the Kegel Camp app and whatever. We give him a lot. Check out the episode. It was great. So thank you.
It was a great one.
Because they're all great. Hi, Emily. I recently discovered your podcast after seeing you on True TV. You Can Do Better. It's a TV show called You Can Do Better, which I shot like 3
I
months
thought
ago.
that was like an insult. I thought she was insulting me.
Oh, I know.
I watch True TV all the time. It has Impractical Jokers and Billy on the Street.
Okay,
Billy
it's a
Eichner.
new TV show called You Can Do Better.
Uh-huh.
And I was on it. I shot it like a few months ago in June, and I didn't know it aired.
Is it
until
about
now.
like ladies getting better dudes?
It's about sex, the episode, and Ken saw it because he saw this email. Ken
is your VP.
and I haven't seen it yet, but he said it was great.
Okay.
Point is, it aired. I've been married for 7 years, and about a year and a half ago, my wife and I opened up our marriage.
Uh-oh.
It's been
7-year itch.
just let me get through the email without the commentary.
Okay.
Thanks. I've been married for 7 years, and about a year and a half ago, my wife and I opened up our marriage.
Right.
It's been great.
Right. Yeah.
Anderson,
I'm agreeing with you,
stop
kid.
it. Don't talk for a second. It has been great for us. Having an open marriage has forced us to be much more open and honest with each other and has made me feel less trapped in the marriage. I love my wife even more now than before. My wife dates a former coworker of hers, and until recently, I was dating an acquaintance of mine. My girlfriend recently committed to another guy, but she and I are still good friends. My question is this. Now that I'm looking for a new girlfriend, how should I bring up that I'm in an open marriage? I want to be honest with people, but I'm afraid I will scare women off if I bring it up too soon. But on the other hand, if I wait too long, it'll feel kind of sleazy, which I am not. Recently, I met a girl at a bar, and we hit it off, and she agreed to hang out again. When I saw her again, I told her my situation, and while she was nice, she was uninterested. I'm nervous to do online dating because I work at a conservative financial institution. If my boss finds out, it could affect my career. A couple of women I work with know I'm married, but don't know it's open, respond very well to me and give me indicators of interest, but it's too risky to date someone from work. This is long. Should I just tell women I'm married, ask them out, and when they get confused, explain that my marriage is open? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, Derek, age 35. Okay. First of all.
It's not the 70s anymore.
True. What's the problem with that?
Free love is kind of like over and done with. And I think that when he's meeting these girls, they're going to think relationship. They're not going to think bang time.
But you're wrong.
Okay.
Because actually, there's more open relationships than ever right now, ever in the world. What was that
there's
stat
more of
coming
us.
out? There's like 1 in 5 or 2 in 5 Americans have an open relationship.
Wow.
And in fact, we often hear from people who are like, oh, it can't work. It'd be horrible. And it's working for them.
Yeah.
7 years, they opened it up, and he's actually not asking, like, how do we do it, which is very rare. He's saying, like, how do I find someone?
Right.
And it's I'm not saying it's for everybody.
No.
We've talked a ton on the show about who it's right for.
But how do you feel like if they have kids? You think it's cool?
Yeah, if they have kids and they, can talk to their kids about it, or the kids don't know about it. I don't know.
I
know
hope
a lot
they don't
of
have
people,
kids.
Okay.
I hope.
I know people in open relationships who do have kids, and when the kids get to a certain age, they tell them, they don't tell. It depends whatever stage that they're at, but I don't feel like, is it better to just be cheating on your partner or to be miserable and stay together
Right.
for the kids when the kids can?
I get it.
The
On
kids
paper.
the kids can, if you're staying together for the kids, they know you're miserable.
Right.
Okay. Kids are like sponges.
I'm
They
a
pick
product
all
of
that
that.
up. So exactly.
Yeah,
Look at
my
you.
parents should have. I really wanted them to break up, and they didn't. And
Right.
they hated each other.
Okay, exactly. So if your parents, when you're 18 and they explain, I'm sure they're not frolicking around the house having orgies, but
Right.
that's another question. So that's a different topic. My point is, I know I'm saying that a lot of people don't believe me that they can work for people. They don't know if you don't believe
Right.
me.
Plus, that's not even his question. You're trying to get
His
to
question
his
is right.
question. Right.
Okay, I think that Derek, you do need to let people know right away what your situation is, and a lot of women out there might not be interested, as you found out. But I think it's better to let them know early on, so you don't waste anyone's time for sure. And you might have better luck with women a little bit. He's 35. I mean, I think a lot of women are kind of like a lot of people are delaying marriage. They're dating around. They might be interested in just, having sex. Maybe they're dating other people. People are not committing like they used to.
Right.
So I think that, he could find someone who's not looking for anything serious. It's a bummer you don't want to go on apps because the truth is OkCupid has a section for open relationships. There's another one. FetLife is more for kinkier people. FetLife. And then there's a Meetups. Here's another thing that is actually not really a website. A lot of cities have meetups for people in open relationships.
Right.
Like they have meetups for people who like cats.
I think it started with like dog walking and dog
totally
parks.
Did.
Yeah.
But now they've meetups. Of
course,
so I would check out like meetup.com.
Yeah.
And so those are some of my suggestions for you. But I do think, Derek, that you just, no one wants to waste time.
And Derek, I know that you work at a financial institution, which is conservative, and you're worried about your boss. I doubt your boss is going to see you on Tinder. I think you could probably do Tinder, and your boss isn't going to be swiping your face one day.
It's true. And the women at work find, well, I wouldn't sleep with the women at work. But, I mean, yeah, that's true. And he's probably on Tinder as well, anyway. But actually, OkCupid, like I said, which is not swipe app,
Right.
does have a section for open relationships.
Unless your boss is like actively searching for you on these sites, I think you're probably pretty safe.
And I feel like even conservative these days, it's different. Like you're going to get fired because you're going to open. But
Who knows?
You know what? People are still thinks things are freaky sexually. So back to October. Okay, so
a lot of
good luck.
hypocrisy out
And
there.
I'd love to hear how this goes, Derek,
Yeah.
with the open relationship and finding someone. But I think that it's great that you're honest and be honest with everyone.
And you know what? It sounds like he's not wearing a wedding ring, which is kind of odd too. If he's picking up girls at bars and they don't know that he's married till the second date.
What did he say? I don't know. He said it. What did he say?
He met a girl at a bar and she liked him, and then they met again, and he let her know his situation, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm not in."
Well, a lot of guys don't even wear wedding rings. Maybe they don't because they're in a relationship.
Have
I
you
know
heard
so
about
many
those
guys who don't.
wedding rings where you take them off and
In
it's going
Vegas?
to imprint?
Yes.
And it says "I'm married" on your finger.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, it says like the wife gives it to him like if he's going to Vegas? What do you mean?
No, like that's like a wedding ring you can get for a husband is you pull it off and there's like an imprint because it's like on the inside of the ring and it says "I'm married." Like it leaves it on your finger.
Like it brands you?
Yeah.
Do you have
Horrible.
one of those? That
No,
is
fuck
horrible.
No.
Like that's just
I
one
do have
relationship I wouldn't want to get married. I think you should pause.
I do have a tan line though where my wedding
That's
ring
what
is.
happens.
So yeah, it sucks. I need base.
I've been with guys. I've been on
need
like
some foundation.
base. I've got foundation hair. I've got lots of products.
Hitting a bar after this. I need a.
It's funny though because I've definitely been in situations where I've seen guys like I was probably in Vegas or on a business trip somewhere like in China. I remember, and guys, I'd see them like talk to me and slip their ring off.
Yeah.
So
That's
sleazy.
that's pretty bad. That's a
big time.
drunk move.
Yeah.
You don't get
Okay.
away with that when you're sober. No, you're drunk.
No, guys, I don't want to get into that. But okay, dear Emily, thanks for your great podcast. I always enjoy listening to all your advice. My question is about tying up my man. Same question you had, Anderson, when you came in.
Nope.
We had great sex, and he enjoys tying me up from time to time, and I certainly enjoy it. But I'm interested in taking control sometime and pleasuring him while I do all the work. Any tips for tying up my man? We already discussed that this is something he's open to. Also, what are other positions besides classic girl on top where I can do all the work? Thanks for your advice, Leah, age 26.
That's
okay.
prime banging age right there.
She wants to tie your guy up. I like this, Leah. It's fun taking control. So my suggestion, first off, let's get the equipment out of the way. The accoutrements, the sport sheets. I love sport sheets because they were actually made for the ease of use of tying people up. They use Velcro, okay? They have amazing Velcro cuffs, and they have under the bed restraints, which you can leave on your bed at all times, which I have on my bed. And yeah, it's freaking Velcro. You're like, how easy is that? Cuff,
So there's
cuff,
just
they can't move.
Ties hanging off your
And
bed
the Velcro, yeah, there are. I tuck
at
them
any
underneath.
given time.
Yeah. And no one can see them. They're tucked under the bed.
Okay.
And so,
Wait
yeah,
a minute. Does your maid come in and make your bed?
I told you about the maid incident, right?
Well,
She
there's
does.
been a
But I don't
few.
think she's seen them.
Okay.
Maybe she has. I don't
probably
really
wouldn't
care at
even
this
be
point. She saw
surprised.
the Sibian. Come on. What are we going to do? She sees everything.
She tried out. Did your
I
maid try out
hope
the
not
Sibian?
because I clean it. I don't know. Okay, so Sport Sheets, yeah, just go to their website, click on the banner on our website, or go to sportsheets.com because you'll love all their stuff. They have like all different, they have like their good, better, best lines. They have cool stuff, and it makes it really easy, like literally Velcro. That's cuffs, comfortable.
And it works
You
on
don't need a key.
any bed because
Any
a lot
bed.
of beds like
Oh, yeah.
they're
That's the
hard
other
like,
thing.
with the head.
People are like,
boards.
I don't have a headboard. No one has a goddamn
Yeah.
headboard with holes in it anymore, right? So you have them, they go together. Like the thing about the Sport Sheets cuffs, I'm showing you right now, but no one
Yes.
can see it. The Sport Sheets cuffs is that your arms can go together over your head. You can do your arm to your leg. You can or you can get the actual sport sheet that's Velcro and put the. There's a lot of different configurations, but
Wait,
let me just say
and then
it's
you
easy.
could like wear
Velcro.
a suit that's
You
made of the
missed
stuff
it.
that
We
sticks.
did a show. If you guys are
Just
interested,
stick your partner in any part of the bed and they just stay
do,
there.
Do you want to hear? I don't want to get into
What?
this now because it'd be so totally sidetracked. But Tom, the founder of Sport Cheats, is on the show. You were not here.
No.
And I'm sorry, it was sad. But he freaking came up with this idea. Do you remember the David Letterman episode where he was Velcroed to the building? It was like in the 80s or late 80s, early 90s.
No, but I'm envisioning like super glue ads.
Literally, and he was like, "Oh my God, what if you could Velcro someone in a building?" It came up. We did an interview with Tom from Sport Cheats. It was amazing.
So could you
Leah,
theoretically turn the bed upside down and the person would still stick to it if they're not too fat?
maybe.
That is great.
Okay, we should try that.
I love this.
Okay, so positions. There, you're right. You got woman on top, and what else can you do that would make you? You could do reverse cowgirl because you're still in control. Here's another position that I recently I've heard about, but then I got a press request about it last night, and I was like, oh, the crab. I know it's a bad name, but the crab is like woman on top, but your weight is not on your knees. So when you're on top, you're like on your knees.
Right.
I'm on top. Let's say I'm on top of you,
Right,
somebody.
yes.
Your legs are over his shoulders, and you're leaning back on your hands. So you're leaning. Get it?
You gotta have really strong triceps.
It's so hard. You do. You have to have strong
You're able to
triceps.
no, you
but
can
you're
practice
going
doing
in
the
and
dip.
out.
If you do the dip
You
at the
could
gym,
do dips. You
yeah.
could do tricep dips while you're in control
Right.
here.
Every time I see a lady doing dips now at the gym, I'm gonna know why.
Right. She's doing it for the crab
The crab.
position. I just thought it was cool. The crab. And then there's also the cross position, which is like the scissors position. But with the cross position, he's on the bottom and you're on the side. Oh, God. I see. This is why people always ask me for sex positions.
Right. The book.
It's hard. Right. I have a book called Hot Sex, Over 200 Things You Could Try Tonight. It's really reasonable. It's like $13. Get it on Amazon. No joke. Anderson uses it every night.
That's not true.
It's next to his bed, and you can open it up, and there's a lot of positions in there.
Yes.
But check these out, online,
What you
whatever.
should do,
The scissors.
Put a little Velcro on the back of it and just keep it on the
Right.
bed.
But here's the thing: you could also, while you're in control, because it sounds like that's what you want. I would also get a blindfold. You could, again, Sport Cheat sells like their beginner bondage kit, or just use a necktie, whatever you want. When you blindfold him, you are taking away all the other senses, right? So you could just start off by blindfolding him, tying his hands back, and having fun. Take some, massage candles, some hot, massage wax.
Yeah.
You could take some ice cubes. Kind of play with them.
You still got your
Feathers,
massage
tickle them.
candles?
I do have them. We don't sell them.
You don't sell them.
No, we no longer sell them. We no longer
They're
are
great.
in business. They were great.
Yeah.
They were fun while they lasted. But Joe makes some great candles. The point is, you can do whatever you want there, and he won't know what's happening next, which is very exciting for him, especially because he's already said he would do this. So have fun with that. And I like a man who wants to be tied up. I think that's hot. Okay. Another email. Dear Emily, one thing I've not been sure on, but has never really come up in conversation fully in my previous relationships. It's around previous sexual partners and relationships.
Oh, no.
How much is too much to share, and how much is not enough to share? I've had more sexual partners than number of relationships. I guess that is part of the norm, but don't know what to expect in terms of a reaction. Also, I've seen a number of escorts slash massage parlors to appease my sexual desire when I was single. Should that be shared or kept quiet to myself? Honestly, I don't know what is right or wrong here.
What?
From friends I have heard where they have been totally open, and others they have not so much. So I'm lost here about what to say and what not to say. I guess it depends on the girl as well, if she's open-minded, if she'll accept it, but she may not, and then it's best not to share. What do I do? Okay, Harry, 33, London. I am so okay. These questions, how many people I slept with,
Yes.
how much of my sexual history. Don't share any of it.
Well, when I was
They're
single,
going to ask you, and you know why they're going to ask you? They're going to ask you so they could use it against you to torture themselves and to torture you.
right, and they'll use
There's
it to
no
sabotage.
other reason.
The first thing they
Sabotage.
do to sabotage the relationship once they get to a point where they don't want to be in it, whether they even realize it or not. I used to do that all the time.
They're going to use it against you. Well, those 18 dicks you had inside you, right? You did
When
that
I was,
shit.
but as far as the massage parlor, when I was single, I would lead with that. I would go up to a girl in a bar and I would just sidle up next to her and go, "I love getting hand jobs at massage parlors."
No, you didn't.
That's how I would start the conversation.
Is that
no,
a joke?
of course.
No.
and never ever. Don't even tell Emily that. Don't tell people you go to massage parlors.
Dude, Harry, I'm so glad you. No, Harry, thank you so much for telling me. And let me be the last woman that you ever tell that to,
Yes.
okay?
No one needs to know.
No one needs to know. And because nothing's wrong with it. It's not freaky. It's not wrong.
No.
It's not shameful.
No,
and
it's
don't
not.
be
It's a
embarrassed.
service, and it's out there for a reason.
Right.
They're on every corner where I
I'm not
live.
judging you. However, people. Anderson was just there on the way here. But listen,
They really are. I don't like to, because I have a bad back and I like to get the knots massaged out. And it's really hard for me to find a place that seems like it's on the up and up where I can get hands on my back that haven't been on penises all day.
Right.
It's distressing.
That's
it's very
not true.
distressing.
Okay.
No,
I know what you're saying.
I could
In
tell.
LA,
I
you
walk
can
in,
tell?
it smells like chlorine. I know what's going on in there. I
Oh,
just turn right
God.
around.
I go to a great Thai massage place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but there's nothing going on.
I bet that they touch wieners over there.
No, they don't.
I bet they
Here's
do.
the point. We are so obsessed in, I was going to say that every culture, you're in London, wherever we are, about how many people we slept with and what to tell and what to ask. This information, like people will ask because, and you might have asked a woman before, Harry, like how many have you slept with? It doesn't help anybody. It's like we're going to use it, for a lot of times the stereotype is that women, they've had too much, so they're slutty or not enough and they're inexperienced, or a guy is a player. And then you can never stop thinking about all these other partners they've been with. This is not useful information. But yet we ask. It's like it's like watching a train wreck, right? It's like watching a car crash.
Yeah, it's like a tooth that you can't, like a bad tooth.
Yeah.
You can't.
Like you want to know,
leave
but you
it
don't want to
alone.
know. And then you're going to keep and then you're right. You're going to use it against him. And then you're going to be thinking about, she, might be thinking about, well, maybe he's home late tonight. He's probably getting a hand job at the massage parlor. Like
too many images in your head. And you know what? I think it really does trigger all the unhealthiest parts of a relationship for sure.
Jealousy.
And I've noticed when I'm in good, healthy relationships, it doesn't even occur to me. I don't even want to know. I don't need to know. I don't want to know. I'm comfortable and I'm secure in the relationship. It's the bad relationships where I find myself wondering, like, how many has she been with?
Right.
And I hate it, but I keep looking at it like a train wreck. And I've
I
told
agree.
you, like I've been with girls where I had like all 9 of the guys that they've been with, like I had their names memorized and at the exact times, and like something would come up like in a movie where they'd be like
a John.
It'd be like 1995, and I'll be like, that's when she was banging that guy. That's what I would think. Really unhealthy.
It's so unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true that we do this. We think of all of it, like all the other partners in the past. We think you're having sex with her, you're like, there's 18 other guys, 9 other guys. So don't have this conversation. And Harry, if it comes up and you're with a woman, she's like, so how many women have you shagged, Harry? You know what you say? You're going to say, all I'm thinking about is the amazing sex that we're having right now. I'd love to focus on that.
None as good as you.
Yeah, none as good as you.
Yeah, just
I don't remember. I've
revert it
blacked
back to her.
out. Go
And-
right back to the sex you're having.
There are the occasional freaky ladies out there and guys who get off on it. They want to hear about
For real.
It's very, very rare, though. It's very
rare. It's true though, and you can tell. But again, it's not going to be on the first month you're dating or the first week you're dating somebody. And it is true that some people want to hear about it. But in most cases, that's not why they want that information.
To quote Dr. Drew, he used to always say for years and years and years, I'd hear it on Loveline, more history, less history, more mystery.
Right, more mystery, less history.
Yeah,
exactly. To quote the great Dr. Drew.
And if somebody's like really shaking you down, she's got issues, Harry. If someone's really demanding,
And I feel like it's a good point, Anderson, because it really hasn't, like, I feel like it doesn't really come up. It used to come up maybe in my 20s. It came up, but I just feel like people.
When people were more insecure.
Yeah. No one asked it. Yeah. And God knows that.
You're sex with Emily. They just assume it's in the
I'll be like, today?
Yeah.
How many today?
How many today?
Okay. Another email. Dear Emily, I have an issue that's come up between me and my husband. The problem lies with me and my dislike of porn, especially certain types that he likes to watch. Some background. I'm 45, my husband is 30, and we both come from different cultures. I'm American, and he's from the Caribbean. We have a wonderful exploratory sex life and usually have sex once or twice a day.
Jeez.
I recently discovered that my husband watches porn and quite a bit of it. He watches daily, usually after I've gone to work in the morning. My problem is that the type of porn he watches always involves older women. He usually looks at mother-son clips, mother-drink-sons cum clips, and the like. I do not like porn generally, as I feel it desensitizes men to real deep
Is that its own genre?
Dude, there's a genre for everything.
Jeez.
Deeply connected sex. The mom-son genre stuff turns me off. I don't want to feel like his slutty mother. The whole situation makes me very closed in bed. I can't seem to get the video titles out of my head during sex. I've spoken to him about this. He says I'm making a big deal out of nothing. He said he'd rather watch porn than look at other women and that he's attracted to older women. Besides my general aversion to porn, this genre turns me off. I know porn is healthy and normal. Can't get over it. Thanks for all your advice. I love your show, Lisa. Okay, this porn question we get a lot of different variations of this from men and from women. Here's the thing, Lisa, and all of my amazing listeners.
I hope you're going to ask what I need to ask. What's his mom look like? Is his mom in the picture?
No.
Does he seem to really get excited when his mom's drinking milk?
What, his real mom in real life?
Yeah.
No.
That's what he's looking at.
No.
I'd be very concerned.
God, I
No?
wouldn't. No.
Okay, all
Okay,
right.
here's the thing. Men are going to watch porn. They just are. I understand this is super confusing for women. And women watch porn too. They watch it before he was dating you, during, they just do. And it's part of men. I was going to say after, but you guys are going to be together because you guys are super happy except for this porn thing. I feel like guys are hardwired to like watching porn, like watching people have sex, talking about sex, like reading about sex, hearing about other people have sex, and it's like hardwired into your brain. And I know that men get aroused. You get aroused easier a lot of times than women, and it's a stress reliever, like masturbation. It just is. Okay, porn is going to happen, and I feel like there's all these couple, and yes, it can be a problem in some relationships for sure. Porn addiction, or whatever you want, people being reliant on porn, and they can't have sex in real life, they can't ejaculate, they can't get hard. These cases exist in the world, but typically it's separate. It's not equal. It's just a separate release.
And a lot of guys watch stuff that they're not necessarily, they don't want in real life. They just want to watch it like a two-dimensional.
It's a we all should have rich fantasy lives, okay? But I get why this is also just disturbing, because it's the older woman. And
this might be his thing right now. Like, guys go into phases and they get into certain things and then they move on. It's like, it's like any pastime. It's like any hobby.
But like, how is it so different than when men were reading porn magazines, reading Playboy? It's like, because your other concern, Lisa, is that you feel like it takes away the deeply connected sex that they're having because he was watching porn earlier in the day. And again,
totally separate.
He's with you. And I'm not saying that people have sex and they think about other things sometimes, but I'm not like, it's going to happen no matter what. There's going to be fantasies that happen. I'm sure when he's with you, if you feel deeply connected to him, he's deeply connected to you, and your sex is fine. You have this aversion to porn, and I understand it, but porn isn't going anywhere, and it's not going to harm your relationship. In fact, it's very healthy for men and women to have rich fantasy lives outside of their relationships. It just is. You don't always have to share it with each other, but it's part of being healthy and having a good sex life.
Right.
It just is. And I'm sure he fantasizes about you as well. And again, I get why this is disturbing, but he's not going to stop watching this porn. Like, you're a dude, so I don't want to speak for penises everywhere.
I think the biggest concern that
you
might
started
have
off very
here
concerned,
is they're having sex twice a day, and he's looking at porn. There might be a little porn addiction going on here, and something to keep an eye on. That's what I would have to think.
Porn, okay,
3 times a day. If he's climaxing 3 times, 4 times a day, that's a lot. It's a bunch of
he's 30
drinks for mom.
He's 30.
Yeah.
I don't know if he says she goes to work earlier than he does. Like, the reason why we would know it would be a problem is if he wasn't going to work.
Yeah, if he wasn't going,
he didn't leave the
consequences.
House. Consequences.
Yeah.
He couldn't orgasm during sex anymore. He couldn't get hard when he was with her. He couldn't please you. And it was really disturbing in his date. Yeah, there's consequences. Are there consequences, Lisa, besides what you're feeling right now? I just want to know. If there are, any of those things do arise, we might have a problem. But, he could be watching other kinds of porn. It sounds like you'd still have a problem with it. And I'm just trying to get people to embrace porn. Like, I know that there's, again, people have problems with porn for a lot of different reasons, but it's
a weird thing, and I don't
healthy.
envy you ladies at all to have to deal with browser histories and seeing what your guy is looking at. I haven't really ever had to experience that in a relationship.
Because you clear your cookies.
What you do is you get Bing and you go on Chrome and you just always go to private. You go to private incognito.
Thank you for that hack.
Yeah,
that porn
incognito,
hack.
and Bing's always the best. Best Google
but
search.
Here's the thing. Yeah, thank you. That's good.
Best search engine for porn.
The thing is,
because you can hover the arrow over it, the cursor over it, and it actually shows you a little preview before you actually click on it. Yeah.
Wow.
Remember when Bing came out and it was like a big thing? Like they were really trying
whatever
to take the
happened to
market.
it?
Well, they realized that they cornered the porn market, and they don't
so
really
everyone's surfing porn. I didn't even know
It
this.
really is the best search engine for porn.
Thanks, Anderson. That's a really great service. And Lisa's going to appreciate that too because she tells her husband. But here's the other thing I want to say about porn. And I've said this a lot on the show if you've been listening, like I was 25 years old having the best sex of my life at the time I thought I was one time. And my boyfriend, I found out watched porn and I was so upset. And I was really like, I thought he wanted to be with a woman who's blonde and big boob. I didn't get it. I'm like, to me, it was the best sex. It was like, really though, I had my first orgasm with him. It was a whole thing. And I really didn't understand it. And I did not have the knowledge that I have now.
Right.
And I actually didn't have a lot of this knowledge until I started doing the show about 12 years ago and started hearing from all these men and women and studying it and understanding that it is just a natural part of desire
but you
and
just
sex.
gotta understand
You gotta
that
roll
it's
with it,
totally
people.
separate, and
He loves you. It sounds
every
like-
dude does it.
Yeah, they do.
Just about.
It's not going away. So that's what we got time for.
Cool.
Thank you, Anderson.
Thank you, Em,
Great
for
to
having
see
me.
you.
Thanks for squeezing me in before my baby is squeezed out. I feel like if my wife sneezes, I'm worried that he's going to shoot out. She is so pregnant.
I know,
She's
dude.
9.5 months pregnant right now.
That's crazy.
I know.
I'm so excited for you, actually.
I'm pretty pumped, too.
I can't wait to meet the little one. And I can't wait for you to give birth to the baby, your wife, and give birth to your film.
You have any little sucking toys, like any
was
kind of
gonna-
like little pacifiers, look like wieners?
I have like
or
a
anything
wiener
like that?
pacifier.
Yeah, I bet you do. Mm-hmm.
I do. No, actually, believe it or not, they've kind of, in that market,
I
there's a
wouldn't think they'd
teddy
have
bear
many
sex
baby
toy.
toys. What?
There's a teddy bear
That's for
sex
the furry
toy.
population. The
Teddy
furry
Love.
community.
Teddy Love. Don't worry, I already got
I've
it
seen
for
them.
you.
No, don't give me any penis-laden
Okay, and
teddy
check
bears.
out Anderson's film.
Groupersthemovie.com, everybody. Thank you
And then
very
the
much for
Gatell have
checking it
brunch,
out.
too.
You can see the 3-minute little pitch video that I agonized over and put together over there. And just giving us a quick follow is a huge, huge help to the campaign.
Yep.
And come out brunch with us with
Let's have brunch, mimosas.
Emily and her lovely ladies.
Yeah, and guys.
And guys.
Andy,
and Eddie.
It's going to be a great time. Okay, I love you all, and follow us on social media. Keep subscribing and emailing, and I just love you all for listening. Thank you, and thank you, Madison, and thank you, Eddie and
Nate.
Ken, and thank you, Lori and Jamie, and Nate, and all the wonderful people who make Sex with Emily great. Thanks for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. You know what I never get tired of? Talking about the magic wand. Seriously, it's like telling stories about your best friend. I actually think I have more stories about my magic wand than I do my best friend. The magic wand was part of my life long before it was part of the show, and now it's time to make it part of your life too. For more than 30 years, the magic wand has been the trusted toy that women around the world reach for first. In fact, check this. Time magazine just named the magic wand as one of the top 10 most influential gadgets of all time. We're talking next to the iPod and the calculator. Time magazine, people. If that doesn't say it all, I don't know what will. The perfectly sized original magic wand delivers amazing power and control and is incredibly simple to use. Just plug in the 6-foot cord for uninterrupted pleasure. For more information on the magic wand, visit magicwandoriginal.com today or click on the magic wand banner on my website. Let's talk about the orgasm gap. You don't know what the orgasm gap is? Okay, so a little refresher. Men take anywhere between 6 to 8 minutes to orgasm during intercourse. Women, between 20 and 40 minutes. You see the issue here? There's like a gap. Even if you don't have an issue with premature ejaculation, the fact remains women take longer to achieve orgasm than men do. A lot longer. But you can take action. You can. For starters, more foreplay. Foreplay is not just a suggestion, it's actually mandatory. And to help you narrow the orgasm gap during intercourse even more, try Promescent. See, Promescent is a clinically proven, FDA-approved product that can significantly delay ejaculation. So, why is that a good thing? Because if you're able to last longer, you'll have less anxiety about performing. You can focus on being in the moment with your partner, enjoying sex instead of stressing about it. And your partner gets a benefit of a longer, more intense experience. Doesn't that sound much better? Does that sound more fun? No more gaps? A lot more sex, a lot more orgasms. God, this sounds good. Promescent is a topical spray that gets applied to the penis to improve a man's stamina. Unlike common delay sprays that make you numb, Promescent is quickly absorbed, allowing you to enjoy the sensations of sex. When used properly, it won't transfer to your partner, which, trust me, nobody likes. What other product can help you last longer, have better sex, reduce performance anxiety, and improve your relationship? Exactly, none. And it's easier to buy Promescent than ever before because now it's available at your local Rite Aid and Target too. That's right, you can run out, get some today. Of course, you can also click on the Promescent banner on my site or visit promescent.com today.